Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Notre Dame gets snubbed and we're here to break it down. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports for New York Nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports.
Chris, what's going on? The football world is on fire. Notre Dame snubbed from the college football playoffs. Also, the Oakland Raiders and Pete Carroll under a microscope. Cash Patel might see Pete Carroll in Valhalla over the weekend. But first, let's get to the Fighting Irish, my favorite college football team. Because real quick, if you're a guy from New York, by default, if you're Irish, you are a Notre Dame football fan. If you grew up and had the DVD Rudy, you were a Notre Dame football fan, okay? When you had Channel 4 in your poor house of your family, and that's the only channel you received, you were a Notre Dame fan. When you were Roman Catholic, you're a Notre Dame fan. So by default, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. We were talking about this, Chris, prior to this news breaking. We were talking about, is Notre Dame on the fence? We were talking about BYU. Are the Mormons and the Catholics going to be kept out? Chris, are you surprised by Notre Dame being held out?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Look, I think head-to-head matchups have to matter. It doesn't matter when that loss occurred, but you can't look at two teams with identical records and say one team is better. The team that lost is better than the other. I think also this is a bit of a bigger problem. I think Notre Dame really underestimated the power that the big conferences are going to have moving forward. Them being an independent, it's like the SEC and Big Ten looked at each other in that committee room and were like, let's just screw Notre Dame because they didn't want to join one of our leagues.
Well, this is why I'm upset, because as a Notre Dame fan, you know, I was first thinking, and I made this post on Instagram. That's New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN on Instagram. But I had even posted this. Hey, Notre Dame, maybe it's time you play somebody during the year. Hey, Notre Dame, maybe it's time you stop being independent. Maybe it's time you join a conference. But then I actually started thinking about it, and then I'm like, no, hold on. This is the SEC, this is the Big 12, this is them all putting the theoretical gun to Notre Dame's head to try to join a conference. Now, Notre Dame made its own show a long time ago with NBC, Paramount, or whatever streaming service they're hooked up with now. Notre Dame was ahead of the curve, made their own money, been making their own money, and now everybody wants them to join a conference. But guess what? Notre Dame stayed out of the playoffs. If you guys haven't heard, Notre Dame is no bueno. They are not going to a bowl game. Everybody from the top to the bottom decided together that Notre Dame will not be playing in a meaningless bowl game.
They're pansy, bush league bullshit.
So you think they're taking the ball and going home with it?
Yeah, they're going and crying in their beds because they didn't get in. Well, listen, dude. You lost your first two games of the season, both times to ranked opponents. You beat USC and you beat Pitt. Oh, best record ever. Like, that's terrible. Those are the only two ranked teams you beat.
Yes.
Break. And now you're depriving these kids of playing in a bowl game, might be their last college football game ever, because you're mad that a committee didn't select you? Like, get over yourself.
Well, I think this is a lot more than meets the eye here, man. It just seems that they kept the Mormons and the Catholic out, it seems, with BYU and Notre Dame and Vanderbilt. But if you're a football guy, it's called the eyeball test, Chris. If you want to talk about Tulane, you want to talk about Ole Miss, who's not even going to have their head coach, half of their staffing coach, Notre Dame had a chance to win a national championship or go to the national championship game this year. So how can you sit there and say, no, they shouldn't be let in when you have a team like Tulane whose coach just left? So now you have 3 or 4 teams in this playoff that are absolute dead weight.
Yeah, look, I think this is going to be an evolving thing, right? Like, they left Duke out of it, and the ACC was supposed to have
you can't let them in with five losses.
I
That's
100%
egregious.
agree with you, but the committee is already making up rules as they go.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, true.
so. Like, and that's fine, because look, I think the next one is that group of 5 at large is going to be gone. because I 100% agree. You can't have a two-lane in, and as cool of a story as JMU is, and as good of a football program as they've been running, they're not ready for this.
And
They're
it
not.
even
They're
happened
not.
with SMU last year and Notre Dame. And don't get me wrong, just to, call a spade a spade, Notre Dame did this same exact shit last year when they lost to North Dakota State. Okay. Or that random team that they lost to in the beginning of the year last year, and they were able to do the same exact thing. They had a young coach, young quarterback. They were able to turn it around. They were in the Final Four. This year, Notre Dame wanted to do the same exact thing. But how about this? If
But
they want
hold on.
Notre Dame to join a conference so goddamn bad, let them join the ACC and let them rock out with their cockouts for the next 30 years and win the conference every single year. Okay, bring on BC, bring on Duke. We'll run your shit. Or how about this? Let them be in the Sun Belt. You know what? Notre Dame should decide to be in the Sun Belt. Okay?
But I don't understand. Why is there such an anti, like, here's the brutal reality. There is going to come a time, and it'll probably be in the very, very near future, where the college football national champion is SEC, Big 10, Big 12. That's it. It's a playoff. If you ain't in, you're out. Too bad. We don't care. We make too much money. We're too big of schools. We have too many. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's the boys club, and if you're not in, you're not in. So like, I don't know why Notre Dame holds on to this "whoa, we're independent" thing like it's the holy grail. Like it used to be for the money. Now
You're
I think
asking a
that's
bunch of Catholics why they're holding it on to it like the Holy Grail. Come on, Christopher. You
well
went to
going
Catholic high
look,
school as well. No, you're exactly
but
right.
like
I get what you're saying.
yeah, but like going back to it, like BYU, I don't think you can let them in. They beat one ranked team the entire season. Like I I think the eye test showed maybe they deserved it, but in their only two games against top 10 Texas Tech, they got their doors kicked in. So
Yep.
like I don't think they should have got in. I don't think Alabama should be in, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, and then it's almost
there's a
like
lot that's wrong with it. There's a lot that's wrong. I mean,
it's almost like the
Al,
conference championships don't mean anything. Like Alabama just got its clock cleaned by Georgia, and it's like it didn't move the needle at all. Listen,
but
I'm
look,
going to say right here, you got to take care of business first. Notre Dame shouldn't have two losses, okay? And they shouldn't be scraping in and begging to get into the playoffs. That's the problem, okay?
mhm.
Now, if you think about this, let's go in the Wayback Machine to when me and Chris were in grade school, okay? They didn't even have they chose who was going to be the number one team, right? And then they finally started playing a national championship game, right?
And then they started picking two teams.
Yes, and then they started picking two teams,
Then
and
they
then it was a
started picking
final.
four teams.
And then we got the Manti Te'o Notre Dame years with his fake girlfriend was when
Yeah,
we had the final four, and now we're like, okay, all arguments will cease to exist. Now the fact that we have a final four, dude, we used to just name the champion. Now we get a final four. No one's gonna bitch and complain now. Now we got 12 teams.
dude. All I gotta say is last year, the college football playoff, is electric.
Amazing.
It is
It might be the best product out of any. Okay, so like, guys, you got to remember, you watch my channel here at New York Minute Sports. I'm a baseball guy, first and foremost. Okay, I live and eat it. But I am not a per se college football guy. I know what's going on. That's why I bring Chris on the show. He's a college football guy. But I even know that college football and hockey with it, that I don't even watch, are two of the best playoff formats that you can get. It's the most competitive. It's the best, dude. I love college football.
And I mean, the college football playoff last year was
Electric.
amazing. Like it was electric. You have what do we have?
But then you got
December.
SMU in last year, who's like JMU. Those teams shouldn't be in, man.
They are. Look, and again, they created this. They created this to try and be inclusive. They gave away the free spot. They're going to take it away. Like it is what it is. And this year's going to be the year that does it. And by next year, we might have 16 teams. Who the fuck knows?
Well,
But
do you wanted to add something?
no, I was just going to say, like, dude, the calendar is just awesome. You have a full 2 days of college football.
Yeah, this is okay.
Ah,
This could be a lot better. It's not like this is up into interpretation. It's like almost comedy. It's suggestive, okay? So you have these guys with 8 people in there. You know that, first of all, these Southern boys got it out for the Notre Dame fighting Irish, man. There's been bad blood ever since. The Alabama and Georgias of the world think that they're hoity-toity little fruity boys up there in South Bend, Indiana. But while we're in Indiana, let's talk about my boy, Mendoza, okay? First of all, report came out today that the Notre Dame head coach is being looked at as the New York Giants' next head coach.
Yeah,
There's
I've
a
heard
lot
it.
more smoke coming from that.
I think probably it's just escalated because they didn't get into the playoff this year. So obviously, like, oh, he's got some time on his hands. Maybe he'll talk to the Giants. Like, I just don't see a world unless he's one of these guys that really wants to get to the NFL. I don't see any world where a guy benefits jumping to the NFL from being
He,
super successful at Notre Dame.
I mean, this guy is, but this guy, if you want to talk about being an exceptional human being and
Yes,
being head and shoulders above the rest of the coaches in the NCAA, okay, this guy's only been on the scene for 2 years. He stepped into a tough position. The first African-American head coach of Notre Dame fighting Irish football, bro. It's like walking on the moon, okay? And this guy's been successful. I don't know why his teams get off the slow starts, but he has been successful. So now, who knows? A lot of people, of course, they're mentioning him in the same breath as Tony Dungy and Mike Tomlin when they did make the jump in to the head coaching position in the NFL. So I think there's a little smoke to where there's fire, and hopefully, I think that you guys would be happy with him. But I think the Giants need a proven thing right now, and they need to go out like no questions asked, get a head coach that's done it, and I
eh,
even no.
I'm so sick of everybody saying bring in Mike McCarthy. Like,
I was just about
eh,
to say bring in
come
Mike
on.
McCarthy.
Can we have
So
like
who do you
a?
want?
Dude, I honestly don't know. I don't know, but I don't want to just go get a high floor guy. I don't want Tomlin. I don't want Mike McCarthy. Like,
If Bill
I don't know.
Belichick became available, would you want him as your head coach for the New York Giants?
Absolutely not. Not right now.
He's
Guy's
got it.
lost his fastball, and I don't want
He,
Jordan Hudson running around fucking MetLife on
Jordan.
the floor.
Jordan. Yeah,
Like, it just doesn't.
Once he got with
He's
Skeletor Woman,
yo
once he got with Piano Legs, it's all been downhill. What he's doing at Chapel Hill is just receiving a paycheck, and
totally.
it's awful. But real quick, let's talk about the Giants. Did we just talk about Mendoza and the future? Hopefully, the future quarterback of the New York Jets. Mendoza went in and beat Ohio State. Now, you got to remember, Ohio State has an NFL-level caliber defense, bro. They've given up less than 100 points all season long in 10 games, okay? You can do the math. Mendoza goes in there. He gets riggedy rocked in the first 6 minutes. And then his brother, Roberto, starts warming up. I go, his brother, Roberto! I was melting down in front of my fucking television. Anybody that the Jets associate themselves with, they think about, they go down. But fucking Mendoza's the goods, man. He's tough as nails. He's enthusiastic. He can make all the throws. But Chris, I'm getting a little worried here. The Jets seem to play themselves out of out of the pick for Mendoza. But now the G-men, by
We are
default,
open for business.
that's
You
what I'm
want to?
talking about. So
Yo, we'll
let's
take
do a little
all the
Gotham City. Can you guys just
we'll take all those first round picks you guys traded for this year. We'll take all of
okay?
them.
So now, this is what it's gonna. Let's talk about what it's gonna get done. Let's just say hypothetical situation.
honestly,
the New York Giants are in first. The Jets are in seventh. They got a litany of first round picks. Also, guys, you got to remember the Indianapolis Colts with Daniel Jones going down. The Colts are a hot dumpster fire. They would be lucky if they win 1 out of the 4 remaining games. Guess what? The Jets have that conditional draft pick from trading Sauce Gardner over there. He just got hurt. So that first round draft pick will keep plummeting down, 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 down. So the New York Jets could be facing a 7 and 13th pick this year in the first round. So as you said, Chris, open for business. Is the juice worth the squeeze, though? Is Mendoza a a franchise quarterback that you're willing to spend that draft capital on, or just get the next best available player for the New York Jets and keep moving on?
Look, I mean, I think if you're the New York Jets, there's two camps on Mendoza. One is he's the closest thing to Andrew Luck from a brains
The
perspective
way I
and from a
feel.
processing. I don't know, like, time will tell athletically, but he seems to be able to make all the throws. He can get himself around and out of some trouble here and there. I, I think if you could go up and get the number one pick, you go up and get it, because what are you going to do? Wait, what are you going to do next year? You're going to trot Justin Fields out there again? Like, what are
Okay,
the Jets
real
going to
quick.
do for another year?
Did you watch any of the Jet game yesterday?
Not a minute.
Okay, Cook can cook.
Who's
Cook
Cook?
can make
Who is he?
Cook can make throws.
Where's he from? Who is he? I'm being serious. I don't even know who he is.
I don't know either. He's from Food Basket. No, he was on the practice squad a year ago. He's been a guy. He's been the third guy. You know, listen, we all get in love with this guy as Jet fans. He's the Mike White 2.0. That's all you need. He's Kellen Clemens, whatever you want to call him.
Again, the Mike White 2.0, the Cook off the bench.
None of it's the answer. I understand.
Nobody had tape on him. Now they do. They'll figure out what he can and can't do. They'll stop what he can do, and he'll be fucked.
So,
like, it's just what happens.
So Cook had 13 drops by wide receivers yesterday, Chris.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is, I know that you might poo-poo it, but I watched the game film yesterday, and I'll send it to you on YouTube. It's about a 2-minute and 30-second clip. And you watch all the fucking throws that Cook made yesterday under duress. I have to admit, I liked what I saw. The guy has something that you can build on. Back shoulder throws. And by the way, Mendoza can make all the throws. I get it. And I'm not going to be hanging my hat on Cook. But we're not winning anything in the next 2 to 3 years. Even if you get Mendoza next year, we're not winning anything, okay? So why not, as the Jets, when we can be good for the next 15 to 20 years, use all that draft capital to keep just getting the next best player and becoming some like a Baltimore Ravens franchise? Or we go out, pocket them all up, and get Mendoza, who's a franchise trendsetter who might send the Jets into the next stratosphere.
Look, I think it's the NFL. If you don't have a quarterback, you got nothing. Like,
absolutely nothing.
There's really no team succeeding without good quarterback play right now. Look at even Indy. Danny Dimes gets injured. They can't move the ball. Like, maybe he's come back down to earth a bit, but regardless, the injuries hurt. I don't know, man. If you're the Jets, you just traded all this fucking ammo so you can go out and do something like this. Not to fucking roster build for the next 2 years. What happens, dude? What happens next year if you're like, I don't know, 8 and 9? Now you're in the middle of the draft with probably still the same quarterback question, and now you're even further away from trying to get up to the number one pick.
There's another way of thinking on this, is that look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. It seems like their window's closed. It seems like last night might have been the dagger in the heart for the dynasty that is the Kansas City Chiefs. What if you were to go up with the Kansas City Chiefs and you give them 3 first-round picks for the next 3 years? You give them.
They're not going to do.
You give them 2 this year. You throw 4 at them. Let them rebuild their franchise for Pat Mahomes at 30 years of age.
Yeah,
all it would be was money.
I don't know. My take on the Chiefs is different. My take on the Chiefs is that they've just been. My take on the Chiefs right now is that they've been hanging on for too long to aging players to try and win another Super Bowl. Like, they're going to blow it up. I would never get rid of Mahomes, but like, I think there's a lot of roster turnover that needs to happen. I do sort of kind of think Andy Reid's lost his fastball a bit in terms of like it's just stale, right? Like, he's been there so long.
It runs its course.
And it runs its course. Like, you look at Brady. Brady had a little dip when he was about this age, maybe a tiny bit older, and like, the team reloaded and they were back. Like,
yeah, he reloaded with Randy, and it was off to the races.
But there are weeks when you watch Mahomes throw 3 and 4 touchdowns and he looks like the best player on earth. Then you look at other weeks and it's like, dude, is Rashee Rice really a superstar wide receiver? I don't think so.
Yeah, but
I barely think he's top 15.
You know what? How many fucking Hall of Famer wide receivers did Tom Brady have? I think the wide receiver position is way overblown. Patrick Mahomes has got rings on rings with nobody at the
I
wide
know.
receiver position.
But
think
again,
of the
I think
team.
you get a little bit old. As you get a little bit older, you need some different types of help out there. They've never been able to fucking create a good ground game for him. Travis Kelce is a fucking shell of himself.
Well, that's the thing. You got old players who have their belly full, who have won. They're not hungry anymore. Travis is working on his exit strategy to go fucking lick sniz with Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So look, I think I did hear, I don't know who it was. Max Kellerman said trade for Patrick Mahomes. I think it was him. I forget. I just don't see a world where Kansas
Who'd you say,
City's
Max Kellerman?
I thought it was him
after
on his
he was
podcast
dropping
with
hot
Rich
fire
Paul.
on fucking hot fire on
Bill
Stephen A.
Simmons?
Smith all week, like Dylon, Dylon, and Dylon.
On the Bill Simmons podcast. That was awesome. I was listening
to
it. But I just don't. You don't trade arguably the top quarterback in the NFL ever. Like, it just doesn't happen. Not at this stage of his career when Brady played into his 40s. Like,
well, when you have one of the cheapest,
6, 7, 8 years left.
But when you have one of the cheapest owners in the NFL and you owe him $420 million.
Nah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? Great point about Andy Reid losing the fastball is because kind of the same thing happened with the Eagles and Donovan McNabb. He kept going. I mean, he's not going to lose you. Like, he's like Joe Girardi. You know what I'm saying? It's like you might not win it every year, but you're going to be a winning team. No matter what happens, you're going to be a winning team. Their belly's full. Like you said, man, the window could have closed, but they're one draft away from reloading and going back into reloading the Death Star with Patrick Mahomes. Hey, listen, man, it's just wishful thinking on my end. But what's not such wishful thinking, and we'll end on this, Chris, is the fact that the Oakland Raiders-Denver Broncos game is under huge scrutiny right now because what the fuck went on during the game? Guys, if you haven't seen it, by the way, I'll fill you in. So at the end of the game, the Oakland Raiders are down 10 points. They get a, what's it called? Interfering with the receiver. So what? There's 4 seconds left.
So first of all, they're down 10 with 17 seconds left. Usually you're running out the clock. Like, literally. Nope. They're hucking the ball 25 yards down the field.
They're airing it out, so they throw it to a wide receiver. There's 4 seconds left. He gets an obstruction call from the defender, not letting him up. There's a delay of game call. They throw a flag. There's 4 seconds left. Pete Carroll comes in, and he kicks a field goal down 10 points with 4 seconds left. Now,
spread was 8.5.
I want you to, and plus, I took the Raiders with the points yesterday, so I was very happy about that. But let me just ask you a question to the audience and to you, Chris. How many times have you been standing at a bar, watching a football game, half a load on? You need a miracle at the end of the game. Let's just say you got the Raiders and Broncos game, and you go, all I need to do is the Raiders to come down and kick a field goal at the end of the game, a meaningless field goal. And your friend always goes, why the fuck would they do that? And then before gambling became legal, that's the way it would always go down. Be like, come on, Pete, kick a field goal, Pete, kick a field. And then they come down and they kneel it, right? Might as well not get anyone hurt. Might as well wait for the next game there. Pete Carroll has them running down like an episode of Supermarket Sweep to kick field goals. What is going on?
With the time expired. Dude, it's crazy. Like, you, as a freaking degenerate gambler, in a situation like that, if you have the Raiders, that's sunk money. You're looking at the board for the next fucking bet. There's no way they're kicking a field goal. They're down 10. They need to score.
Yeah.
Like, they need to score, get a 2-point conversion, and then get an onside kick and a field goal. Like, there's so much shit that has to happen. Like,
what is the reason?
I just saw Portnoy's thing, and it was hilarious.
Oh, I would like to. Dave Portnoy, what I think he needs to start doing is
$500,000 on it.
How many?
I said he probably had a fucking $200,000 on it.
This is what I'm talking about. I think before he posts on social media, what he needs to do is he needs to label how much he put on the game, so we know where his anger level is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he lost $500 on that game last night and he's acting like that, something's wrong with Dave. But if Dave lost $500,000 last night on that, then it's on Pete Carroll. He's calling for the death of Pete Carroll.
He's like, lock him up.
Yeah, lock him up. No, I agree, though. Listen, man,
Dude,
Dave might not have said
zero sense.
Dave might not have said it so eloquently, but he's exactly right, man. Like, It's getting bad. This whole year has been about the quality and the honesty of the game, man.
Dude, how about go back to Thursday night?
What happened on Thursday? I smoke a lot of pot.
George Pickens on the Cowboys just decided to not play football that day.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
When
he was like walking around the field. He went
Yeah.
from being the best fucking wide receiver in the NFL to didn't even stick his hand out at a ball that dropped at his feet.
This is what I'm talking
And
about.
his
Chris.
over-under was 50 yards or something. It was some weird
Because you
over-under,
can
and it
bet
was under.
on underproduction.
I
They have
know.
the slider now.
Dude, they gotta get rid of unders and the gambling. They gotta
I'll say this to the audience.
Gotta.
Yo, real tip to the audience, and especially the young guys, because you guys have no chance. Because all of you guys are taking action on the fucking game. Bet like it's 1983. Okay, dude? Stay away from all the other bullshit that they try to give you, the same game parlays, all that stuff. If it seems too easy, if it seems too true, it is. If it seems too good to be true, it is. Dude, bet under winning $100. The max bet 10 fucking dollars. If you bet $10 and you win $70 and you do that 3 times a week, now we're talking about some actual money. That's a good return on investment, all right? But now when FanDuel has things like the sliders, where all season long, dude, I've been going to Justin Fields. I've been putting that son of a bitch down to 72. I set his passing line. I put under 73 yards passing. You finish with 71. I won $275. On ineptitude, I put the slider on Tyrod Taylor yesterday at 51 because I thought he was going to get hurt, and he did. So they need to stop
the slider bet.
Love this, the ineptitude slider bet, I call it. And it's awesome.
But I mean, dude, the George Pickens thing, you got to watch some of the tape. It's unbelievable.
I'll check it out.
Like,
I'll check it out.
If you look at the last 5 games, 80 yards, 145, 146, 90. I think his over-under, I think I heard or read it somewhere that it was 51.5. He finishes 5 catches for 38 yards. Like, what?
Yo, I had a great pullout. No diddy. I had a great pullout this weekend.
Whoa.
So
UFC, you're not going to be a dad?
I'm the pullout king. Trust me, I'm 42 with no kids. Or I'm sterile, either one or the other. UFC, the Peter Yan fight, right? So I did a 5-leg parlay. I'm 4 for 4. We're going into the final championship, right? Fucking Blashamashovich from Georgia, who's an American now, he brought in, great story, is fighting Peter Yan. Peter Yan's the underdog. I got the favorite. 10 seconds into the first round, Chris, Peter Yan comes in and cracks this fucking guy. I go, cash out. I cash out. If I'm lying, I'm dying. The first punch Peter Yan hit the champion with, I heard the crack on it. I fucking cashed out. Peter Yan wound up going 5 rounds and winning the championship belt. That fight went on for another 38 minutes. So now I'm sitting here in limbo going, oh, I hope the champion doesn't win now because I cashed out because I took a little relish off that hot dog. But, dude, I wound up winning $210. I could have won $230. I'm like, for another $20, I'm not sticking around.
You got to sit through the 40 minutes of hell.
Yeah, for $20, I'm like, fuck that. Boom, cash out.
Good.
So I'm just telling you, in the UFC, if you smell it, if you feel it, do it, okay? Cash out. Also, another thing is, bet like it's 1983. The bookie down the block never lets you cash out. If they're letting you cash out, keep the bet going, guys, because that means you're probably going to hit for the whole thing. So, don't forget to hit us up on New York Minute Sports. That's NEWYRKMIN right here on that smoke wagon you call the information superhighway, YouTube, and also on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We're on X now. New York Minute Sports, all that motherfucker. Spotify. And also, Chris is going to be with me. We're going to be doing the football end of the season, the playoffs, college football playoffs. We're going to be breaking it all down, and we're going to be watching Pete Carroll like a bunch of hawks and sending him to jail. And I'm a Pete Carroll guy, bro. I'm a Pete Carroll guy. And he's Fugazi, all right? You want to tell the people you love them, Chris?
Love you guys. I'll see you guys later.
And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Good night, Canada. Bye.